Black markets kids ran in their schools. Follower submission. At one school, this kid's incredibly good at magic, especially the trick with 3 cups and a ball. You know, the trick where you have to guess what cup the ball's in? Well, he had an idea. One day, he set this up in his classroom, and they asked people if they wanted to see if they could guess where the ball is. Well, of course, one kid said, "I'll bet you $10 I can guess where the ball is." He said, "Okay, if you guess wrong, I get the $10. If you guess right, I will double your bet." And everyone got it wrong. He was making decent money, but people were getting suspicious because nobody was getting it right. So the magician kid paid his friend $2 a day. His friend would stand in line, and when it was his turn, he would guess where the ball was, but he would guess it correctly because they had worked it out beforehand. Business was booming, and this became a huge thing at his school. In 2 months, he made around $250. But the principal found out, and the magician was suspended for 3 days. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When this kid was in middle school, he wanted to make some money, so he started a business. He bought a bunch of Smarties, and he sold them for 25 cents each. But he soon realized he wasn't making the profit he wanted, so he had another idea. This guy was very good at math. So what he did was he went to the school counselor, and he switched from advanced math to general math. General math is the class that people who are very bad at math take. He told everyone in his class that he would do their homework for money. And people liked that idea. Some of these kids had tons of missing assignments. Pretty much all of them were on a track to fail that class. But after hearing about our dude's business offer, they took him up on it, and business was booming. This kid was doing everyone's homework, making up all of their missing assignments. By the end of 8th grade, he made over $450, and he helped so many kids pass that class. He hustled hard that year, and all the kids in that class will be forever grateful for the work he did. Weird things that happened at a friend's house. This one kid had this friend that he would hang out with all the time. He would often hang out there during dinner time, but the thing was, he was never allowed to eat. "Alright boys, dinner time!" They would make him sit at the table with the family, but they would never serve him a plate. He never understood why. "Hey Mr. Stevens, do you think I can have some food tonight?" "No, Kyle, you know the rules." "Can I be excused then to go watch TV?" "I said you know the rules. You sit there until we're done." "I am so hungry." I'm sorry, man. "Honey, this lasagna is fantastic." "Oh my god, honey, thank you so much. I worked really hard on this." "You're missing out, Kyle." "This is delicious." Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When this kid was in 8th grade, he put Shrek's face on a dollar bill and photocopied it. He made tons of copies. He would cut them out and bring them to school. And kids in lower grades were coming up to him asking if they could buy 1 Shrek buck for $1. And business was absolutely booming. He was making hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And Shrek bucks became the new school currency. Students would trade their Shrek bucks for food, for services, stuff like that. Well, eventually the school caught on to what he was doing, and he was shut down and suspended. They took everyone's Shrek bucks and destroyed them. When he got back to school after his suspension, he found 5 Shrek bucks in his backpack. He pulled them out to show a few of his friends. Well, when people saw this, they lost their minds, and secret bidding wars happened. One kid whose parents were super rich gave him $300 for one of the original Shrek bucks. He eventually moved schools, but in total, he made over $1,000.
This kid's an evil genius. At this school at the end of the year, they had a kindness award. The person who would win this kindness award would be given a $50 Dairy Queen gift card, 5 homework passes, and your picture on the wall of the main office. Well, the thing is, the person who won was voted on by a random committee of teachers. 5 teachers, different every year. So 2 months before the vote, this kid hatches a plan. He finds out who's on the committee. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Mrs. Stevens is the last one. Perfect. Once he found out, he starts doing the most calculated acts of kindness in front of each and every one of the teachers on the committee. For one teacher, he holds the door open for her every single morning. "Ah, yes, good morning, Mrs. Stevens." "Oh, how nice. Good morning, good morning." "That's right, I'm nice." Another teacher, he brings in a plant labeled "for your mental health" and hands it to her. "Here you go, Mrs. Johnson. I thought you would like this." "Oh my god, I love plants. How kind are you?" "That's right, I'm kind." "What was that?" "Nothing. Don't forget to water it. Bye." One time during lunch, he stands on a table and gives a speech about gratitude. And then after that, he walks around the cafeteria picking up trash, helping the janitors. It wasn't even subtle. One time, he handed a granola bar to one of the teachers and straight up said, "Here you go, for kindness." "Well, aren't you just a nice student?" And at the end of the year, he frickin' wins, and it's by a landslide. And that day after school, he took that $50 Dairy Queen gift card and he spent it all on himself. Needless to say, he had a terrible stomachache the next day. But hey, you gotta respect the hustle. The fight started in the hallway, slamming into lockers, shouting, loud noises. When it was finally over, one teacher saw one kid whose shirt was ripped, and that was Ethan. Hey, I'm Ethan. Ethan didn't throw a punch. He wasn't even a part of the fight. He was just the one who was trying to pull his best friend Marcus off of the other kid. So when the principal called Ethan to the office, Ethan just took the hit. Did you do this? Yeah, I did. And what about your friend Marcus? I saw him near you. Was he involved too? No, he wasn't. It was all me. He's suspended for 3 days. When he comes back, a few people treated him a little differently, like he was some sort of bad kid. But a couple days later, his friend Marcus couldn't hold it in anymore. He felt guilty. So he went to the principal's office. He was crying. He told them the complete truth. The next day, Ethan's called in. You could have cleared your own name. Why didn't you? Nah, it just didn't feel right. Marcus has got enough stuff going on. I'm incredibly proud of you, Ethan. I am. By the end of that year, Ethan's grades aren't perfect. But the principal writes him a college recommendation letter. And it was so good that he got into his first choice college. That's amazing. This is getting out of hand. Before first period, everything was fine. But the second first period was over, it happened. Bro, no way. Every school water fountain was filled with salsa. Not one, not two, every single water fountain in the building. And here's the frickin' thing. Written on the wall above the water fountain in very thick Sharpie was 6-7. And obviously, as you can imagine, everybody went crazy. Yo, whoever did this was insane. Yo, but what does it mean? Teachers are scrambling, the students are losing, and the custodians are working extra hard to clean this up. And by the end of second period, everything is clean. Well, the school's like, we need to figure out who did this. So after school that day, they checked the cameras. A hooded kid wearing a face mask. He moves quick. He's got tons of jars of salsa in his backpack and he's just dumping them in every single water fountain and scooting away. Then he slips into the theater hallway, the one with no cameras, and he vanishes. They don't see him again. Nobody gets identified. Nobody confesses. Everybody's talking about it, but nobody's claiming it. And that's when it starts. Kids begin showing up to school with jars of salsa in their backpacks, and every single salsa jar has 6-7 written on the lid. Before you know it, it's a full-blown culture. Who's got the rare stuff that nobody's seen before? Yo, yours looks different. Yeah, my uncle sent it to me from Mexico City. People are trading, people are hoarding jars in their lockers. The school eventually tries to ban salsa. I can't believe I'm saying this, but salsa jars are banned. But that didn't stop anybody. People kept bringing their 6-7 salsa jars to school. Apparently, it has now calmed down a little bit, but I guess the school is still scrambling to stop all of this madness. That is insane. One day, this kid bought a bunch of clear iPhone cases for cheap, and he had this friend who was good with graphic design. So what he would do is he would have his friend make this cool design of whatever he wanted. His friend would then print it and cut it down so it would fit perfectly inside this phone case. And it looked awesome. Clear phone case, this graphic design insert, it was legit. Custom fit, looked expensive. He did it to his phone case first. It was an anime design and it looked awesome. People saw this and they were immediately intrigued. Well, interest grew. And soon, he was taking orders for people. NBA, anime, SpongeBob, Shrek. He was making these custom phone cases and selling them. Then he starts bundling them together. 3 phone cases for $10, 6 for $15. And business was absolutely booming. He kept buying these clear phone cases. His friend kept designing these designs and custom cutting them to fit the cases. And people were buying them. They were all over the school. The thing was, his friend that was designing these and printing them was using the school's printers. The IT guy realized how much printing had been done and he told the principal. And this whole thing had to be shut down. But by then, he had made $530. And those phone cases became collectibles. Some students even reselling them for 3 times the price they bought them for. Honestly, you gotta respect the hustle. Have you ever dissected a pig heart? Well, this one biology class did. Everyone in there, goggles on, little scalpels, and there was an extra supply of pig hearts sitting on one of the counters. Well, one kid, as they were leaving, grabbed a pig heart and put it in his pocket. Then his friend grabbed a pig heart and put it in his pocket. Half the class is stuffing these cold, nasty pig hearts into their pockets, backpacks, and duffel bags. It was absolutely disgusting. Then, after school, behind the field house, a crowd gathers. There's 2 rows of kids, each of them with a pig heart in their hand. Positions, 3, 2, 1, begin. And just like that, this group of kids were playing dodgeball with biology class pig hearts that they were supposed to dissect. And it was, a mess. Pig hearts hitting kids in the face, splattering on the pavement. It was looking like a scene from a bad horror film. Eventually, the school officials came outside, saw what was going on, and each and every one of these kids were suspended for a week. I can honestly say I have never played pig heart dodgeball in my life. Would I? Maybe.
The worst college roommates ever. This girl was randomly assigned a roommate her freshman year of college, and she did the following things over the course of the semester. One day, she caught her roommate laying naked on her bed, shaving her body, and when she asked her why she was doing that, her roommate responded by saying, "Your side of the room has a window, and I need the light to see what I'm doing." What? Her roommate would also steal her jewelry and wear it all the time. And when she noticed her roommate wearing the jewelry, her roommate would say, "You can't prove this is yours. Show me a receipt and I'll give it back to you." That's just shady. One day, this roommate also put a line of duct tape down the middle of the room. She said, "You can't pass this line unless you're entering or leaving the dorm." Well, one day, as this girl was leaving class, she noticed a pile of her clothes and stuff sitting in the middle of the quad. She freaked out, grabbed what she could, and went back to her dorm. She asked her roommate, "Did you do this?" She said, "Yes, because I found one of your socks on my side of the room. To teach you a lesson, I put all of your stuff in the quad, so it could easily be stolen." That's crazy.
The weirdest things teachers did, or in this case, the principal. When this person was in elementary school, the school principal had a corner in her office with a table that had a bunch of dentist tools on it. And whenever somebody had a loose tooth, "Excuse me, miss, my tooth is really loose." Okay, well, we all know what happens now. Johnny, make your way to the principal's office, okay? She'll take care of you. Whenever a kid in this school had a loose tooth, they would be sent to the principal's office. "Hi, Mrs. Principal. Does somebody have a loose tooth?" "Yeah, it's this one." "All right, have a seat. This won't hurt at all, okay?" "Okay, let me see. Hold on. I'm getting it. Hold on. Okay, just be still. I'm gonna count to 3 and pull it, okay?"
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 1. You did it! See how easy that was? After the principal would successfully remove a tooth, she would give the students a lollipop and send them back to class. Black markets kids ran in their schools. This kid went to a pretty small school, so everyone knew each other. Well, between 3rd and 4th period, in the boys' locker room in the gym, people held a fight club. You had to know somebody to be able to get in. They even had weight classes. The most popular and entertaining match they had was 2 130-pound skinny kids fighting one 300-pound held-back 20-year-old. The fights got pretty intense, but everyone knew when to hold back, because nobody wanted to come to class with ripped clothes or a bloody face. There was even a referee for these events. The people who organized this fight club were making bank. But there was also another service. This one kid had a very nice camera, and he would record these matches in super high quality. He would then take these fight recordings and put them on the internet, and the only way people could watch them is if they had a password. So now these guys are running an actual fight club and basically a streaming service to watch the fights if you couldn't be there. Crazy days for sure at this high school, and nobody will ever forget it. So this school was doing Spirit Week. You know, Pajama Day, Wacky Wednesday, stuff like that. Well, on Wacky Wednesday, this one kid showed up in a full suit of armor. Boots, gloves, gauntlets, the whole thing, 3 layers, night helmet. It was epic. And the school let him keep it on. Well, after second period, these 3 8th graders, who were the school bullies, decided to make fun of him. "Hey, nice outfit, Tin Man. What you got under there?" "Yeah, nice outfit, metal boy." Well, he's just standing there, not saying a word. The bullies didn't like this, so they start to attack him. "What's your problem, dude?" "Yeah, what's your problem?" One punches his shoulder, his hand is shaking, it might be broken. Some kid kicks him in the groin, his foot is hurting. And the third one, big guy, punches his knee and literally breaks his wrist. Ow! You're my foot! My foot! My wrist, guys. Guys, my wrist. It's broken. It's broken. Principal shows up and calls it a school fight. The kid in the armor gets suspended for a week. Even though he did not touch any of them, he literally just stood there in his knight armor that the school let him wear. And the bullies, they didn't get in trouble at all. And that, my friends, is messed up. It was week 2 at summer camp. One kid realized the lake wasn't just for swimming, it was for business. He dragged a canoe down to the dock, and instead of just paddling around, he offered rides. And these weren't just regular canoe rides. He called them customized canoe experiences. The first customer was a kid trying to impress his crush. The canoe kid cleans the canoe, he pulls out a Bluetooth speaker, puts on love songs, throws down blankets as seat cushions, and hands them a pack of Twizzlers. Boom, $10 romantic canoe ride. This is nice. I like canoes. The next ride was a totally different vibe. 2 kids wanted to skip rocks in the middle of the lake. The canoe kid plays rap music and brings a bunch of flat rocks in a bucket. He takes them out there and lets them go wild. Boom, $10. Soon he's offering packages. There was the silence special for the kids that were fed up with their bunkmates. Soft music, calm paddling, and no talking for 20 minutes. It was like a meditation on the lake. And these customized experiences were spreading like wildfire. Everybody wanted to get a trip on this magical canoe. And by the end of camp, he made a pretty decent chunk of money, and the kids loved the service he provided. So yeah, you gotta respect the hustle. Okay, listen to this. At this school, the water bottles in the cafeteria were sold for $3, but they were small and always warm. The only other option was the water fountains in the hallways, and those were absolutely disgusting.
Oh my god, it's green? That's disgusting.
The spouts were green, the water came out warm, and every time it tasted like pennies. That's when this dude named Ryan showed up with a plan. One day, he walks into school with a giant cooler bag and 2 of those big water jugs that were used to refill bottles.
Cold water, 50 cents to fill your bottle.
Well, it turns out most kids didn't have a water bottle. So what Ryan did was he stopped charging people to fill their waters and instead sold reusable water bottles himself for $3 each. The second you bought a water bottle, you were in the system and you could get your water filled. Pretty soon, Ryan set up at lunch with 4 water jugs in this giant cooler bag, and he's refilling everybody's water bottle. Kids, teachers, everybody. People were skipping the nasty water fountains and going straight for Ryan's ice-cold filtered water. And months later, by the time the school had actually replaced the water fountains with nicer ones, Ryan had made $400. And the entire school was carrying around the water bottles that he sold. What a genius. You gotta respect the hustle. So this girl takes her boyfriend out for his 23rd birthday. Small Italian place, no reservations, just first come, first serve for the tables. Well, these 2 wait 30 minutes, and they're finally taken to a table. They order some drinks, they're settling in, they're having a very nice time. Then this family walks in. Mom, dad, 2 kids. The hostess tells them, it's gonna be 30 minutes. The mom then loses it. 30 minutes? My kids are hungry now. This is ridiculous. People are taking up big tables when they're just couples. And she literally points right at this girl and her boyfriend. Like them. Yo, I think that lady's talking about us. Oh my god, she is. The mom then marches over to their table. Hi, you 2 don't mind moving so me and my family can sit here, do you? You're young. You can wait. The girlfriend's jaw drops. Excuse me? So get up. Get up, please, now. She's losing her mind. The waiter then comes over and is like, ma'am, you can't just ask guests to give up their table, okay? You're gonna have to wait like everybody else. This is ridiculous. There's no respect these days. So she goes back to the front. Her whole family looks super embarrassed of her, as they should be. She was out of line. And then when the hostess finally got them a table, it was right by the bathroom and the kitchen. So they were very uncomfortable. Good. It's a Saturday afternoon. This mom's at the park with her 2 kids when her neighbor drives up. Hi, can you watch my kids for just like 10 minutes? I have to run to the grocery store. Yeah, sure. Just 10 minutes, right? Yes, 10 minutes tops, and I'll come pick them up right back here. Well, 10 minutes turn into 2 hours. They're at the park still. Her kids and her neighbor's kids exhausted. Everybody wants to go home. No sign of the mom. No texts, nothing. She's not answering her calls. Hold on, kids. I'm just trying to get a hold of your mom. She's not picking up. Come on. Well, now it's getting dark, and they can't just keep staying at the park. So she takes her kids and her neighbor's kids in her car, and she drives to the neighbor's house. She pulls up in the neighbor's driveway, and there's her neighbor's car, parked. What the heck? The lights are on inside the house. She grabs the kids, goes up to the front door, and knocks. The neighbor opens the door, holding a bag of popcorn, and the TV was on. Oh, thanks for bringing them back. Have a great day. Come on, kids. What the heck? No thank you, no apology, just shuts the door. And that's when the mom realized her neighbor never had to go to the store. She just wanted time off from her kids. That's messed up.
Sarah, what happened? Take me home, please. Are you gonna eat? You haven't even touched your food. I'm not hungry. Listen, we have to talk about this. You slapped the principal of your school in the face 3 times. What is going on? I didn't do it. Then who did? Something made me do it. I don't even remember how it happened. How do you not remember, Sarah? You're lucky she's not pressing charges. It was the pineapple. Excuse me? It was the pineapple. It had to be. They had to have done something with it. That girl Marissa brought one into school that day. And then this happened. God, not the pineapple thing again. Jesus Christ, Sarah. First, the pineapple shows up on the stairway and trips you. Now, it made you slap the principal in the face. I'm not crazy. Something is going on. I'm going to sleep. I'll see you in there later. Sarah, it's 3 a.m. What? I've gone over these details again and again and again, and there is just no explanation as to why any of this is happening. There's gotta be something here. I'm not crazy. I can't do this. I called Dr. Stevenson today. We have an appointment tomorrow morning. We'll figure this out. I'm glad you guys called me. I understand you've been having a very tough time. Well, thank you for fitting us in. So what do you think? Is there something that we can give her, or, like therapy? Well, I recommend therapy to all of my patients, but there is a new medication on the market that I think could really help your wife. I can write you a prescription for it. No, I will not be taking any medication you give me. I am not crazy. Sarah, please, don't silence me. I am not crazy. And I sure as hell won't be taking any strange medication that this man gives me. You want to be that way? Fine. I'm taking all my stuff and I'm staying with my sister. Until you can figure out whatever the heck is going on. I have got to get back in that school and see exactly what those kids are doing with this pineapple. Sarah. This might be the most embarrassing marriage proposal of all time. This man right here was at a hockey game with his girlfriend, and as you can see right here, he has taken a knee and had just asked her to marry him. Everyone's watching and cheering. But as the video plays on, it's not looking good for our shirtless friend. She obviously says no and walks off. My favorite part about this whole situation is that this camera guy here was filming it for the entire stadium to see. But the second he realized it wasn't going well, he shut that camera off and went away. Embarrassing. The dumbest reasons people got fired. This dude used to be a bartender, and one day the owner's wife came into the bar to have a few drinks. Everything was going fine, and then the owner's wife asked this. What's your name? My name's Kyle. Kyle, you're a fantastic bartender. Why don't you do a shot with me? I'll buy you a shot. Take a shot with me. Oh, thank you, but I can't. I drove to work today and I'm gonna stay sober. Oh, come on, Kyle. Don't be a baby. Just one shot. Like I said, I drove to work today. I can't have a shot, alright? Why don't you want to have a drink with me? Kyle avoided her for the rest of the night. The next day, the owner came in, called him into his office, and fired him. The owner told him that his wife was very sad and offended when she got home, all because he wouldn't have a drink with her. The worst things teachers have done. It was the middle of November in Minnesota somewhere. This kid was in 6th grade, and one of his teachers gave him a detention. Well, the school day had ended, and this kid was sitting in that teacher's classroom. And she wasn't gonna let him leave until 7:30 p.m. Miss, can I call my mom to let her know where I am? No, be quiet until 7:30 p.m. Then you can leave. Okay. 7:30 p.m. rolled around and detention was over. He then asked, I can go home now? Yes, detention is over. I hope you learned your lesson, Billy. Okay, yeah, I did. But can I call my mom to have her pick me up at least? It's snowing really bad outside. Billy, no phone calls, no rides home. You're walking to your house, okay? Think of it as a part of your punishment. Are you serious? I will see you tomorrow. What is going on? So he walked 3.5 miles home through a blizzard. She had gotten fired for what she did. This is insane. A kid goes to a friend's house for dinner. They're sitting down. It's spaghetti night. Okay, we know the rules, everyone. We must say what we're thankful for.
They're all sitting down, the food's in front of them. This kid assumes that they each say one thing and then move on to eat. But the mom then says this, before each and every bite. Wait, before each bite? Yeah, it builds gratitude. So the plates are steaming, nobody's eating yet, and it gets to the dad first. I'm thankful for my family. Then it moves to this kid's friend. I'm thankful for spaghetti. And then it gets to this kid. Go on. I'm thankful for math class. That's good. It keeps going, bite after bite after bite. By round 6, this kid is losing it. I'm thankful for forks and gravity and oxygen. Hey, don't get smart. Dinner takes 2 hours, and this kid decides to leave. And as he's walking out, he whispers to himself, I'm thankful I'm never coming back here again. Yeah, no kidding. This Spanish teacher had a rule. If you forget your pencil, you would have to borrow one from her supply cup and pay her back with a brand new one the next day. But she would always make sure to embarrass you because of it. Well, 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 look who's unprepared again today. Little baby Kyle boy. All right, here, you can have a pencil, but bring me back a new one. Okay? What is wrong with you? Well, this kid named Marcus shows up to school one day with a bag full of sharpened, brand new pencils. And he would sell them. One pencil, 50 cents. No need to pay the teacher back with a brand new pencil the next day, and no public shaming. So that's kind of a win. Pretty soon, it's not just the Spanish class he is selling to. He made little flyers and he passed them around the school. And pretty soon, people were texting him, ordering pencils. Whenever they forgot one, he was the guy they would go to. Just 50 cents. Well, it got popular. Business was booming. So he upped his game a little bit. He had a premium package with the highest quality mechanical pencils you could imagine. He bought them in bulk, so they were pretty cheap, and he would charge $2 per mechanical pencil. And people were buying those as well. He was selling out every time. Eventually, Marcus had an incredibly loyal customer base and a bunch of single-dollar bills in a shoebox under his bed. You gotta respect Marcus, and you gotta respect the hustle. This kid scammed his entire school. Now, this kid didn't always do this, but he was very broke. So one day, he overhears that this girl named Jessica is having a birthday coming up. Doesn't even know her that well at all. But that night, he walks to the CVS by his house, and he buys a $2 birthday card. The next morning, hey, so Jessica's birthday is tomorrow, and I'm getting signatures in this birthday card, and I'm also collecting something small. Hi, can you sign this? I'm collecting something small for Jessica's birthday. Hey, I'm collecting something small for Jessica's birthday tomorrow. She's been having kind of a rough year, and I'm just trying to make her feel seen. People start signing the card. Some hand him $1. Oh, that's actually so sweet of you. Yeah, here's a few bucks. He's walking the cafeteria with this birthday card. That day, he got 20 signatures and $30, and he signs the card last. He says, "You got this. We're all rooting for you." What? The next day, he walks up to Jessica with this huge smile. Hey, happy birthday. And he hands her the card, but not the money. She starts tearing up. No, because this is actually so nice of you. He does it again with a different kid. Anything helps. He's had a hard month. Boom, another $40. And he tries it again. Alex Johnson's birthday is tomorrow, and I'm collecting some money. His dog just died. Little did he know that Alex Johnson was sitting at that table. Yo, I'm Alex, and my dog's fine. What the heck? Crap. People start catching on to this shenanigan. And within a week, the school's investigating this kid, and it's became this giant deal. But he made $217 before this whole thing collapsed, which is actually kind of genius and kind of impressive. Come on, you gotta respect the hustle. One day, randomly, this kid told his teacher, "My grandma died." Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, that night, the teacher emails the mom. "I just wanted to say, I'm thinking of your family. Deborah was such a good woman. May she rest in peace." The mom reads it, and she freezes. Wait, what? Her mother-in-law wasn't dead. She was literally at bingo that night. A few minutes later, a different mom from school calls her. We're all gonna miss her so much. She was such an incredible woman. No, I'm sorry, there must be some sort of confusion. She's not dead. By the end of the night, half of the neighborhood is sending their condolences. Everyone thinks Grandma's gone. This one family even dropped off a casserole. She then confronts her kid. Hi, did you tell everyone that Grandma died?" "Yes." "Why?" "I don't actually know." The mom then calls her mother-in-law to warn her about this entire situation. "Oh, hi, sweetie. B27. Crap. Hey, Deb, so apparently you died today?" "Oh, well, no one told me. That's good to know." G26. Bingo! This is wild. So this couple lives in an old house. Winter hits and the mice show up. And this is pretty normal. She has a full operation to catch these mice every single year. She has mouse traps hidden everywhere. She checks them twice a day and they're constantly being reloaded. And the bait she uses? Peanut butter. The mice love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. At first, they only had one peanut butter jar that they used. And for every trap, she would use a clean knife. So she would go in, set the trap, throw this knife into the sink, grab a new knife, take the peanut butter, set the trap, watch that one. So she's never double dipping the mice knife into the peanut butter so it doesn't get contaminated. It's too many dishes, it's too much work, but then she finds this peanut butter jar in the cabinet, the kind that her husband hates. Hey, I found this peanut butter jar in the cabinet. Do you mind if I use it for the mouse traps? Yeah, it's totally fine. She writes in the lid in big letters, mouse only. She puts that on the sides as well. It's impossible to miss. And now she was finally able to double dip the knife in the peanut butter to set the traps. So this peanut butter is now fully contaminated with like mice cooties. Well, weeks later, her husband's eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He calmly says, you know, I really don't like creamy peanut butter. She freezes. Which jar did you use? That one. The frickin' mouse jar. That's the peanut butter I use to set the mouse traps. It is 100% contaminated. He loses his frickin' mind. I'm losing my frickin' mind right now. That's disgusting. He says she should have hidden this jar. How would he know that it was for the mice? Because I wrote mouse only all over it. She points out that he agreed to this. It was labeled, and he ignored everything. He was angry at her for weeks, but she did nothing wrong. This one is on him. Things teachers did in the 80s that wouldn't fly today. This girl's dad had recently passed away and she was sitting in class when one of her classmates started to make fun of her. What's it like having a dead dad? Shut up. And the way he died too is just super embarrassing. I said shut up. Jeez, I know your dad's dead, but don't take it out on me. Mrs. She hit me with her science book. I know, I saw. And you deserved it, Kayla. Jessica? Yes. Do it again. This kid went to the weirdest birthday party ever. When he was in kindergarten, there was a very rich kid in his class named Maxwell, and he was invited to Maxwell's birthday party. It was awesome, he said. It was Ninja Turtle themed and there were squirt gun fights, but then the mom invites everybody inside for presents. Alrighty kids, come on in, it's time for presents. And there was no cake at this party. Instead, it was a bunch of glasses filled halfway with skim milk and halfway with Diet Pepsi. She made every single person there drink this concoction. This kid was like, I'm sorry, I'm not drinking that. Oh, but you have to drink it. Everyone else loves it. I don't think they love it. Look at Johnny over there. He's about to puke. Oh, he's being dramatic. You're gonna drink it and you're gonna like it. You have to. I don't have to do anything. If you want to be friends with my son, you're gonna have to drink this right now. I think I'm gonna walk home. You are staying until this party is over. He then sprinted to his house a few blocks away. She tried to chase him, but he was too fast. People who were legends in their high school. When this guy was in high school, the mascot was a bulldog. Well, one day, this kid was driving around doing donuts in the high school parking lot when he accidentally ran into the statue of the bulldog. The crash knocked the bulldog off its platform, and this kid freaked out. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. He looked around and nobody saw what happened, so he got out of his car, picked up the bulldog, and shoved it into his trunk. He then drove to a bridge and tossed the bulldog into the water, disposing of the evidence. I'm so sorry. He never told anybody about this. It was a huge deal at the school with an entire investigation. It wasn't until 15 years later when he was having beers with his brother that he confessed. His brother was amazed that he was able to keep this secret for this long. Steven was a quiet kid that got bullied for everything, but one day he decided to change that. It was a second-floor classroom. Steven was sitting by the window, and he decided that today was the day he was not going to be bullied anymore and that he was going to become a legend. Now, the funny thing about Steven was that he was actually shredded. Well, the teacher was mid-lesson, and Steven opens up the window, and he jumps out. There was a single-story building right outside this window, so he just jumped down onto that. And then he started dancing. Like full-on dancing, poses, spins, his hands were in the air, frickin' jazz hands. One kid near the window said, "Bro thinks he's doing a halftime show." He was hyped. He thought he did a great dance, so he hopped down to the courtyard, walked back in school, and sat down in the classroom. But the thing is, nobody even saw him do it. Just that one kid by the window. Nice work, man. He was livid. He did all that because he wanted to be this legend of a kid who danced on the roof of the school building. But no one noticed him, so the next week he came and he did it again. Same class, same window, same routine, and again, nobody noticed. Did anybody see that? See what, Steven, huh? The world does not revolve around you. Pay attention to the lesson. I hate my life. This class was visiting a local science center for a field trip. But when they all got on the bus, the teacher was like, wait, did anybody bring the name tags? Miss, that's your job. Turns out this museum requires name tags, especially for field trips. And they were already on the bus. So right then and there, she pulls out a Sharpie. All right, foreheads it is. And she begins writing the kids' names on their forehead. First kid, Braden. Next kid, Leela. Then Derek. Some kids try to object. No, I don't want this. Well, that's too bad. She's like, oh, it'll wash off. It doesn't. By the time they get to the museum, every single one of the students had their own name written on their forehead, and it looked absolutely insane. The chaperones were silent, stunned. They were very embarrassed. But the museum didn't do anything. They said, oh, look. There's students and there's their names. Everything's fine. Well, 3 days later, kids still had ghost letters of their name on their forehead because it was permanent frickin' marker. Parents were absolutely furious. There was even kind of like a protest at the next school board. Moms were holding signs that said, my kid is not a whiteboard. And the teacher retired early that year. Yeah, sounds like she was kind of losing it. From now on, you sit here by yourself. I hate my life. This kid was 10 years old, smartest kid in class. He aced every test, every assignment, but he was also super funny. Everybody loved him. And you see, the classrooms were set up like this. Round tables, and each table had like 5 people at it. Well, in this class, everybody wanted this kid at their table because he was just such a good time. That is until one day, the teacher deemed him too distracting. She pulled him away from his 5 friends and made him sit in a desk facing the wall at the back of the room. Sit down. And he was the only one back there. The rest of the class were sitting in their groups. Group projects, he worked alone. He wasn't allowed to talk. Week after week, he kept thinking, surely I'll be moved back to my table soon. But the teacher never let him. And slowly, he could feel the gap building. His friends got closer with each other and farther from him. That desk in the corner became his life. For 10 months. A punishment that was supposed to last a week lasted for 10 months. And that is not fair. The school made an announcement.
Redesign the school logo and turn it in. The winner's logo gets to be the official logo.
Every art kid in the school goes feral. People busted out their iPads, sketchbooks. They're working really hard on trying to create this new school logo. But then there's Evan, Shibby. Evan doesn't care. His friend dared him to make something and turn it in. So Evan designs the dumbest thing that he could think of. A circle with a weird-looking bird inside of it that looks like it's mid-sneeze. That's so dumb. Here, he submits it. A week later, the principal gets on the school intercom. We have chosen our new school logo. Everyone report to the gym. Everyone goes to the gym. Everyone's eager to see whose logo made it. They did a countdown. 3, 2, 1. And then they projected it. It's Evan's frickin' doodle. The bird, the circle, the sneeze. The whole gym goes dead silent. And then everybody erupts. Oh, bro's a genius. Yo, Evan cooked. Make him class president. Teachers are clapping. They print it out on shirts. It's being sold at the sports games. It's on the website. It's on the gym floor. This logo is everywhere. And Evan becomes an absolute frickin' legend. I'm a frickin' legend. This bully got smoked. So there's this kid named Mateo. He's super nice, he's quiet, and he always walks around in these old beat-up New Balance shoes. And then there's Jackson, super loudmouth, and he wears these $600 limited edition Nikes that everyone compliments. Hey, yo, check the drip. Nice shoes, Jackson. Thanks. Now, normally, Mateo ignores Jackson because Jackson's constantly making fun of Mateo's shoes. But one day in gym, Mateo had enough. Jackson was like, bro, you're still wearing those nasty-ass crusty shoes? You're probably super poor, you freaking idiot. Everyone laughs. Mateo doesn't. Because here's the secret. Mateo is a walking sneaker encyclopedia. He can spot a pair of fake sneakers from a mile away, and nobody knew this about him. And Jackson, those $600 shoes, Mateo's known for months that those are fake, and he's kept quiet because he's a nice guy. Until now. When the class is doing laps around the gym, Mateo sneaks out and heads to the locker room. He opens Jackson's locker because, of course, he never locks it. And he walks out to the gym floor holding the shoes like evidence. Everybody, yo, dude, those are my shoes. Since y'all want to talk about my shoes, let's talk about Jackson's shoes. He pulls out his phone and he begins comparing pictures of fake shoes to the ones that Jackson has, and they line up. So this is a fake. Look at Jackson's. See that stitching? That's fake. Look at the logo. It's completely off. It's in the wrong font. Look at the sole of the shoe. Completely discolored. These are only worth 25 bucks. Everyone's like, what, dude? So you're a freaking fraud then, huh, Jackson? No, I mean, yes. I mean, no. Bro, you can't clown people for their shoes when you're wearing freaking replicas. I paid more for my New Balances than you did for those fakes. And from then on, nobody made fun of Mateo's shoes ever again. Man, yeah. Legend. One Saturday morning, this kid's at a grocery store with his mom. They shop a bit, and now they're in the cashier line. Oh, sweetie, I forgot to get a gallon of milk. Can you go get one for me, please? Sure, Mom. It's a simple job. So he goes, he gets the milk, and he's jogging back to the cashier. Well, right when he gets there, he trips, the jug falls out of his hand, and the milk spills everywhere. Under carts, onto shoes, people are so mad, he has no idea how to respond to this. This kid has anxiety. So what he does is he gets down on all fours and he tries to scoop it up. But why would that work? He has nowhere to put it. Then this kid freaks out and he tries to lick it off the floor like he's a freaking house cat. His mom was so stunned she couldn't even speak. Finally, this old guy came over. He had a mop. Kid, move. I'll clean the milk. Mom was so embarrassed, she didn't even buy anything. She left all of her items at the belt, and she left the store with her kid. That's wild. This is insane. So this one school's cafeteria used real silverware, actual metal forks, knives, and metal spoons. And every day after lunch, kids are supposed to take the silverware and put it in these tubs right next to the garbage can so the school can wash them. But over the course of like 5 months, the school began noticing their supply of spoons was dwindling. What in the world is happening to our spoons? The lunch staff thought the kids were accidentally throwing these spoons in the garbage. So they began making announcements and posters.
Attention students, make sure you put the silverware back in the tubs. Don't throw them away.
But it didn't stop. You're missing hundreds more spoons now, guys. Hundreds! Nobody had any clue what the heck was happening because it wasn't a whole school issue. It was one kid. Every day at lunch, he would pocket a spoon or 2 or 3, but never more than 4 a day. Not for a plan or a prank. He was just like collecting them. I like spoons. He kept them inside his locker in a flimsy grocery bag hanging from the hook. Months go by. The bag gets heavier and heavier. The plastic grocery bag stretches thinner and thinner. Then one morning before first period, as the hallway is packed and it's loud, he swings open his locker and the bag finally gives out. It rips straight down the middle and hundreds of metal spoons start pouring out of his locker onto the floor. And the sound is insane, like someone dropped an incredibly heavy toolbox down a flight of stairs. Once they all fall, he just stands there staring at the pile on the hallway floor. It's the end of an era. Within 5 minutes, the entire school knew what had been happening with the spoons. He got into big trouble. The rest of that year, they called him Spoon Kid, and he was kind of a legend. Gotta respect Spoon Kid. This is actually genius. There was this kid named Max in 8th grade, and he turned faking sick into a full-time business. He wasn't the popular type, but he had a knack for details. He knew every single school nurse's shift, and he knew every symptom that would get people sent home fast. One day, his buddy is stressing about a math test. Dude, I didn't study. I'm so screwed. Give me $10 right now and I'll have you home by lunch. Okay. He hands over $10 and Max goes into his backpack, and he pulls out this little, like, clear balloon-looking thing. And inside it was a very strange substance. Take this, go to class, put it in your mouth, and then act sick. Walk up to the garbage can and bite down. Then spit all the stuff out into the garbage can. It's gonna taste horrible, but it'll look like you actually puked. Seriously? Trust me. It also smells like real puke, so they'll believe you. Well, he goes to class and he does exactly what Max told him to do. The teacher was like, "Oh, sweetheart, oh my god, you're sick. Oh my god, it smells like puke. Yes, you are very sick. Go to the nurse. Go home." Bingo. Goes to the nurse calls his parents, boom, he goes home, studies for the test, takes the test a day late, and he passes. Word spreads to a few select people, and Max ups his prices, $20. Each case was specialized on different ways to get them sent home. He even had package deals where he would include like forged doctor's notes or heating pads to put on your forehead so it felt like you had a fever. And if people couldn't pay right away, he would help them out. They would just owe him. But then he would have runners that would go get the money from them no matter what. It was a serious business. Eventually, the teachers found out about this, and this came crashing down horribly, and he was suspended. But for a while, he ran the craziest business that school had ever seen. And honestly, kind of genius. Gotta respect the hustle. It was lunchtime. Everyone is sitting on the lunch tables. It's pretty packed. And well, a chain reaction starts. The one where you punch someone on the shoulder and you say, pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. There's laughter, everybody's playing along. The row across for them sees this and then they join in as well. Well, it gets to this one kid. Pass it on. He bursts into tears. He's ugly crying. He's wailing so loud the whole cafeteria is staring at him. He bolts out of the lunchroom and goes straight to the office. No. You have to do something. He assaulted my son. I promise you we're gonna get to the bottom of this, okay? No, my son was assaulted. We demand expulsion. Cut to the kid being called into the office. Hey, I met with the kid's parents and the school board. I'm giving you a 120-day expulsion. Wait, for real? It was a game. Everybody was playing. Shut your mouth. 120 days. Even some of the kids that were at the table tried to go to the principal's office to explain that, yo, this was actually a harmless game and everybody was playing. That kid is just being a baby. But he didn't listen, and that kid was expelled for 120 days. And here's the worst part. After 120 days, he was allowed to come back. But if he messed up one time by even getting a detention, they would put him on a permanent expulsion. That's kind of messed up.
আপনি যে কি করে আপনি তাতে কোনো কমন সেন্স নেই আমার বাসায় কিছু সবাই দেখে ফেলে
রাত 10টায় আমি ফোন দিব আর একবারের বেশি যদি রিং হয় মামা মালটা তো জোস সরি ভাবি তুই পারবি দেখ কিভাবে কই সেটিং মিটিং নাই তো সেটিং মানে বুঝো না পেন্টিরিতি ও তো আমাদের ভাবি হয় ওই হিসাবে আমাদের বিয়ে হিসাব আপনি
আচ্ছা দাঁড়া ওয়েট কর আমাকে একটু ভাবতে দে দেখি কি করা যায় দোস্ত তুই থাক আমি যাই
আমি থাকবো মানে
তুই থাক দোস্ত
রক্ত লাগবে রে রক্ত আসবো না মানে
হ্যাঁ তাই তো শুনলাম
আসবো না ঠিক আছে দেখতেছি ব্যাপারটা যাও
কি রে তুই কোচিং এ যাস না কেন
দোস্ত আমি কোচিং এ কিভাবে যাব বল এই গুন্ডাটা যে আমাকে ডিস্টার্ব করে তুই দেখতেই তো পারছস ডেইলি আমার পিছনে লাগে থাকে
আমার ভালোবাসার গল্পটা অপূর্ণ রয়ে গেল গলবে পাখির মন গলবে এমন মন্ত্র দেব
এভাবে রাস্তাঘাটে একটা মেয়েকে উত্তক্ত করে আর নিজের গায়ে রক্ত দিয়ে
হ্যালো
হেই হোয়াটস আপ প্র্যাঙ্ক ম্যান
কে
একটু হলেই তো তোমার ফোন হাওয়া হয়ে যেত
তুই তোর ফোন আর কোনোদিন পাবি না
কেন
তোর বাবা তো তোর ফোনটাকে একদম আছাড় দিয়ে ভেঙে শেষ এমনকি পানিতে চুবাইছে
আউট অফ কিউরিয়াসিটি হয়তো দেখা করব বাট আই এম নট দ্যাট মাচ ইজি অলওয়েজ রিমেম্বার
আজকে যদি তারাটা থাকতো আজকে তো দিতাম একদম এই খালি স্কার্টেন গার্ডেন
এই যে আপু এসব গার্ডেন ফার্ডেন যায় না, আমার ভাই ব্রাদাররা আছে, আপনার একদম কামড়ায় দিবে। না 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 ব্রো, এই যে আপনার ফোন প্র্যাঙ্ক ছিল ব্রো, চিল চিল চিল। রাকিব ভাই, আপনি এসআই রাকিব ভাই না? আপনার কথা আমি অনেক শুনছি। আপনি কিন্তু মানে বুঝের লোক। টেজে তোলেন।
এই হোসেন আলী, ক্যামেরা আগেই কইছিলাম আমার বস ফেমাস। হ্যাঁ 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 ভাই একটু যদি
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ শিওর।
তো কিভাবে যে কনফার্ম হয়?
এটা তো এদিকে না, 3 নাম্বার গেট ওইদিকে, শঙ্কর গলি বোধহয় গেটের বাইরে। আপনি ভুল আসছেন, যান।
ভুল আসছে, কিন্তু আমি কি চিনতে পারবো?
ও আচ্ছা, আপনি দ্যাট বোরখা গার্ল।
চিনতে পেরেছো তাহলে না?
আই লাইক গুড গার্লস। ফলো কর তো, ফলো কর, যা। এতে কই যায় দেখবি, যা। সারা জীবনে প্রথম কাউরে প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে যায়, নিজেই আজকে প্র্যাঙ্ক হয়ে গেল।
মুনিয়া, তুমি আমাকে বলেছো যে তুমি তোমার কোনো বয়ফ্রেন্ড নাই।
না না, বয়ফ্রেন্ড না, আমি ওনার বয়ফ্রেন্ড, আমি ওর ফিয়ান্সে। ওর সাথে আমার বিয়ে নেক্সট।
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
আমার জন্য?
এটা তোমার জন্য একটা নতুন ফোন দিলাম।
এই জন্য তাহলে তোমরা এতক্ষণ নাটক করছো?
নাটক না, তোমার ফোনটা পুরনো হয়ে গেছে।
কেন
নতুন ফোন।
আমরা প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে পারি না?
একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট কথা ছিল তোমার সাথে। এমন করলে কেমন হয় যদি এই এন্টারটেইনমেন্ট জার্নিতে আমি জয়েন করি তোমার সাথে?
আরে বেন সাহেব, নতুন নতুন সম্বন্ধ তো তাই চিনতে পারেন নাই। ওই যে আপনার বান্ধবী তুলি আছে না?
আপনি যে কি করে, আপনার কোনো কমন সেন্স নেই? আমার বাসায় যদি সবাই দেখে ফেলে।
রাত 10টায় আমি ফোন দিব, আর একবারের বেশি যদি রিং হয়। মামা, মালটা তো জোস। সরি 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 ভাবি। তুই পারবি, দেখ কিভাবে কই। সেটিং মেটিং নাই তো? সেটিং মানে বুঝো না, পেন্টিরিতি।
সবে ইন্টার সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে পড়ি।
সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে এখন ক্লাস 9 এর পোলাবেন প্রেম করে। মামা, মায়া তো অস্থির। এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি, আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু। শুনেন বেন সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনুন। মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি, তাহলে কিন্তু খুব খারাপ হয়ে যাবে। তুই তো ভাবিলে সুন্দর একটা রিক্সা ডাক। ভাবি চিনতে আমার বন্ধু জিসান দিচ্ছে, প্লিজ ভাবি আপনি একটু নেন, প্লিজ ভাবি। দেখেন ভাবি, কালকে সারা রাত তোমার আমি কল দিচ্ছি।
তাহলে আপনি শুনুন আপনার ভালোবাসার মানুষের অতীত বর্তমান। পাগল কোন একদম ঠিক হয়, ওনার ব্যথা লাগে নাই?
ব্যথা তো বেশি তুই
তুহিনের ব্যথা লাগছে মানে?
বন্ধু, তুই চিন্তা করিস না রে, ভাবির মন ঠিকই গলে যাবে। ভাবির মন তো ঘুরবে, কিন্তু